Hello everyone and welcome to another What I Think review, and today I'm reviewing something which I certainly didn't expect to turn up on my doorstep anytime soon. This is an advanced review copy of the Reconnaissance Dalek that is due to be released at the end of this month. For those wondering, the release date is the 28th of February, so I really can't thank Character Options enough for sending me this advanced review copy to show you all. I am absolutely loving the look of this already. Now, I will just say this as well. At the time of recording this, I have been explicitly asked not to show you the back of this box, so I'm afraid this is the only boxed sort of look of it I can show you, this front one. I can't go into the reasons why I am not allowed to show you the back of the box. It is very strict about this, so you know, I can't confirm or deny any guesses as to why I can't show it to you or anything like that. If anybody does ask me any questions, they will be answered with I can neither confirm nor deny. I just want to make that absolutely clear because I do not want to risk jeopardizing leaking anything that is not supposed to be currently shown to you all. So yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny anything. All I will say is that when I am allowed to show you the back of the box, I will post it on my Twitter, and then I will link it in the pinned comment of this video so you can see the back of the box, because I know it is important to some people as part of a review. But as I said, you know, at the time of recording, I'm not allowed to show it to you. So until I get the okay to do so, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna confirm anything. I'm not gonna deny anything, and I'm certainly not gonna show anything until I get the okay to do so. When I do get the okay to do so, there will be a link in the pinned comment of a link to my Twitter where I'm showing you what's on the back of the box. I hope you will understand, you know, that there is a reason for this, you know, and as I said, I don't want to jeopardize, you know, my current good relationship I have with Character Options and their PR company by, you know, showing you anything that they don't want me to show you. So yeah, it's a brilliant looking Dalek. I love the overall package design. It looks brilliant. I'm loving the sort of look and the way that it fits in with the current B&M packaging style. Obviously we've got the Dalek and we've got the mutant inside. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to do the unboxing off camera, because again, I don't want to risk showing anything accidentally on camera. So I will be back in 1 second. So here we have our Recon Dalek out of his box, and we also have our little Dalek, or at least the Recon Dalek as a whole. So it's a fantastic looking sculpt. Let's look at the Dalek first of all. It's a fantastic looking sculpt, right down to the little things like even the cracks in the metalwork look absolutely brilliant. It really looks good. They've really outdone themselves with this sculpt. Functions wise, it obviously just has standard wheels as you would find on a Dalek normally. It doesn't have any lights or sounds or voices or anything like that, but it does have obviously turning head and the eye stalk moves as well. The plunger and the claw, sorry, I should say, and the gun move. They're a little bit stiff, but they do move. And the one thing that I know lots of people were hoping, it does, I can confirm, have mid-section articulation, which is a fantastic thing to see, because it really does add to its playability that it has that. Looks absolutely brilliant, it really does. And obviously the other factor which a lot of people are happy to see, something which I originally thought this was going to be a button of some kind, because I noticed it was hinged, but it's not. It is in fact a little hatch, and the Dalek will fit inside there. I'm not going to push him all the way in because I don't want to get him stuck, but he will fit all the way in there. And the Dalek is actually made of a much more sort of soft, spongy plastic, so he obviously can be more easily put inside. I actually have to say it looks quite good just sort of having him halfway in there with the tentacles coming out, but I would probably display him as he is without it. Now obviously I get given these for an advanced review, but it is worth pointing out that I don't get paid to review these, and as I have done with my previous reviews, I have been asked to review these fairly. So I do want to acknowledge a couple of little constructive criticisms, I should say. The first one is actually what I think is just a small quality control issue. You might be able to see it already, in that the head is quite lopsided. And I thought originally it wasn't just fixed on, but it actually is lopsided. You can see it from that angle, and I think you can see it as well from the back angle. You can just see where this midsection ring is much higher, and I thought it was just a case of pushing it down, but it actually is higher underneath. So it does seem like, I don't know if that's intentional or not. I don't think it is, but that is just one thing that has jumped out at me. But I'm not going to criticize them overly on that, because it is, sometimes quality control issues, they just slip through. It could just be that I've just got the one that does have that issue on it. But it is just one of those things that I feel I do have to highlight it, because as much as I want to praise Character Options for what they've done with this and how good they've made it look, it is just something that is just, little quality control issues like that, just a little bit more vigilance in future. But it happens. It's not something that I feel like, it's not something that I'm not going to be one of those people that says, oh, they don't pay attention to their quality control, don't buy it, because they really do. They really have put a lot of effort into this. It is just one of those little things that is just there. It's noticeable, so I just want to mention it. And the other thing that I do want to mention, and I'm going to bring in here, kind of to sort of illustrate my point, I'm going to bring in my custom Recon Dalek. You can actually see the size difference between the two, and this one, I actually have to say, is far more accurate in sculpt. So the official one is far more accurate in sculpt than mine. But you can see the colour difference. And I know that a lot of people have said that the Recon Dalek, the official one, looks quite dark. And it is, I have to say. It is quite dark. It's got some nice sort of, as you can see in the shine on the light, it has got some sort of nice silvering detailing on it. And even on the, the slats on here, they're very silver in places. And it looks very good depending on how you have it in the light. It really does sort of, shine up in the light and things like that. But the one thing that I have to say stood out to me when I was making my custom one is the one thing I noticed I missed that really made it stand out more was the silver rings around the larger globes. I noticed that I hadn't done those, and they sort of, that really jumped out at me that I hadn't added those on, and so when I added them on, it really made it stand out more. And I have to say that is the one thing I think on here would have just made it stand out a bit more. Now, as a general consumer, I would turn around and say it is a bit of a disappointment that we haven't had that. But again, I can appreciate that there are certain limitations to budget and paint applications and things they can do, and what they've given us is absolutely fantastic. So I wouldn't necessarily hold that as a mark against them. But it is, again, something that I feel I should point out. But as a customizer, which I feel is actually quite good. It's good that I can bring this perspective, because it's perhaps something that not general consumers would see. As a customizer, I don't have a huge gripe with them not having the silver ring, because it actually presents quite a good option for people who are perhaps starting out in customization, or want to do small things, very simple things, or perhaps want practice doing finer detailing, that they can add on those silver rings. So I know some people turn around and said it's a shame that the fans have got to do these things, the proper companies should do them, and I'm not gonna say that's not true, but at the same time, it's not actually a bad thing sometimes when that happens. It's nice that the fans have actually got the opportunity to get this figure and perhaps make their own small improvements to it. I mean, obviously I've got this one, but I actually probably will buy another one and maybe do a repaint of it, just to see the difference it makes, because I really do think that a little bit of a repaint on this will make a difference to it. And it will certainly look good. And then the other thing that I noticed as well on the official one is, for my one, originally I didn't have this again, but I added it in. I've got this sort of half panel here, I've got the half panel on the back with the rivets, and I've also got the half panel here. And this one doesn't have those at all, which again, is one of those things which I can fully appreciate that they have a limited budget with what they can do, but at the same time I feel like it's something that, because this is an entirely new sculpt, it could have been just one of those little extra things that would have been nice if they'd added that in. But it's not the end of the world. It is, again, just one of those things that I feel I should point out. Now, the other thing I want to do, because I know that some people have asked me this already on Twitter and things like that, so I'm going to bring in a new series Dalek and a classic series Dalek from Planet of the Daleks. So you can see a size comparison of all three. The Recon Dalek does actually stand the tallest of them all, ever so slightly by maybe a couple of millimeters taller than a new series Dalek. But obviously you can see size-wise it looks very good. It fits sort of quite nicely into the lineup, and again the sculpt on it is fantastic. It really does look the part for the Daleks. And the other thing that again people have asked, so, whoops, I've just knocked my light over, I apologise. The other thing that people have asked, give me 1 second, I'll talk while I'm setting the light back up. The other thing that people have asked is obviously the size-wise in comparison to a figure. So that is the 13th Doctor. As you can see, the eye line matches up very nicely. That was the one problem I had with my, she's not very steady on her feet. The one problem I had with my custom version is the eye line didn't line up very well, but it does look great in terms of the eye lines of the figure compared to the Dalek. And the other thing that people have asked me about is the little Dalek itself, the size-wise compared to a figure, because I know some people have said about using this to do a Lin custom. It is the right sort of size to do that. But I would say the one problem I think that you might encounter using this for a Lin custom is it will be difficult because of the plastic it's made of to get it to stay sort of wrapped around her. It wouldn't be impossible, but I think it wouldn't be. You might find that it's not the easiest thing to do. So you know, it does fit. I mean, there's nothing. For example, there's nothing to stop you trimming the legs and everything off this, using the actual body and then sculpting on your own limbs and things like that. And I'm planning to do a Lin custom with the Dalek on her. Whether I'm going to use this little Dalek or not, I don't know. But it is something that I'm planning to do. So it's nice to have that as even just as a reference point, as it were. But yeah, I mean, that's, I haven't really got much more to say about this other than, in closing, it's a fantastic figure. I'm not going to deny it has its, I do have my small constructive criticisms of it, but at the same time, I can't really honestly think of a reason why I couldn't recommend this for sale. And I'm not just saying that for the fact that I've been given this as an advanced review. As I said, I'm not being paid to review these. This is genuinely what I think, and I really think this is going to be immensely popular with fans, and certainly something that is well worth buying. So yeah, this is currently up for pre-order on Forbidden Planet and other places. That was the other thing other people asking me is it going to be exclusive to B&M? I don't have that information myself, but as it's up for sale on Forbidden Planet, I would assume not. That is being released on the, where's my phone? I did just have it up, and I know I said it at the start of the video, but there's been a gap between me doing this start bit and this end bit. It is available from the 28th of February for $12.99, currently up on Forbidden Planet. So I would thoroughly recommend pre-ordering one or picking one up if you get the chance, because it is a fantastic looking figure. Whether you want to keep it as standard or whether you want to customize it, it's entirely up to you, but it is one that I believe and certainly think is well worth getting. As I said, I'm certainly going to get another one. But that brings to a close another What I Think review. Now be sure to keep a lookout or check to see if it's already up for my review of the 13th Doctor's TARDIS, because I also got one of those given for a review, so I'm going to do that as a separate video. But as always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. Be sure to go to the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.